What's up everyone, Art at Patience Metal Fab, and I'm hanging out in the parking lot on a very cold and rainy day. And unfortunately, I have some cold and rainy news to deliver. Now, a couple weeks ago, I posted a video on a highlighter yellow ZL1 Camaro. The idea behind that car was it was supposed to be a factory weekend race car that we would eventually get back and turn into a full race car, much the same way we did it with the red ZL1 Camaro, and I'll put a link in the description for that breakdown so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Now, the green Camaro is back, but unfortunately, this is the state that it came to our shop in. The first thing I'll say is that both the driver and passenger in this car were perfectly fine, and that's thanks to some of the safety features on the inside of the car, which I will talk about. But one thing to mention is, I was talking to a driver at the track last time we were out with the Corvette, the C8, and what he was saying is, driving out there and crashing is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. It could be your second or third time out, or it could be your 200th time out. So in this case, having the proper safety features, having the proper insurance and everything goes a long way, because a car of this caliber, even the best driver could end up with a scenario like this. Being an almost brand new modern car, this has as much safety features as it could possibly have. The crumple zones, so for a head-on crash like that, that was very important. And then on the inside, all of these airbags, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that went off. Now, in addition to all of that, on the part of the driver to make the decision to put in a couple of race tech seats, the harness bar and the harnesses, that added an extra element of safety, especially for a crash like this, because you got to think he went almost head on, a little bit sideways into that wall, so he got pushed forward. The harnesses held him back and distributed that weight evenly versus a standard seat belt that would have potentially broken some ribs or caused some neck damage. In addition to, he was wearing a helmet, and with these big bolsters on the race tech, because he came in a little bit sideways, he was able to protect himself a little bit more. Same with the side bolstering here. His body didn't just hit the door like it might have on a conventional seat. In addition to the OEM safety systems and the race tech seats, we also have to think about the custom parts that we made for this car. So the seat mounts and the harness bar, all of those were pivotal in minimizing the crash damage as much as possible. This was an extremely hard hit at the front end of the car, so all that momentum was going forward. That means that the welds, the metal thicknesses, the tolerances had to be really spot on, because you don't want those pieces breaking in the case of an accident. And that's sort of the mentality is, although we can't test these parts in deliberate accidents, we can overbuild them. So when something like this happens, we know without a shadow of a doubt that they're going to hold up. After everything's cooled down with this car, the back end insurance and claims and all of that, I want to sit down with Nick and maybe have him give us a bit of a breakdown of exactly what happened, and maybe even give some advice to drivers that are out in their cars often, how it could have been avoided, or maybe things he could have done differently. I'd be curious to find out. What's the old saying? Speak of the devil and he shall appear. Here's Nick. I was just recording his car yesterday, and lo and behold, he pops into the lobby today. So I figured we'd spend just a couple of minutes talking about that car. I filled the audience in on kind of the basics of what happened. We saw the damage, but I figured we'd hear it from you. What was the experience like on the day of?
It was raining all day. We decided to just wait it out. We didn't really go on the track at all because I had the slicks on the car. And what happened was, after that, it started getting warm, and we decided to finally go hit the track. And I had my family with me, and second lap in, we heard a weird noise in the back, and next thing you know, my car took off up track, and here we are. As usual, I had full track insurance on the car, which made it to be a very exciting but humbling experience. So I also had Patience put in the race tech seats, and they did a full custom seat bracket for it and a harness bar, and that literally saved, breaking bones. And my father-in-law was with me, and that pretty much saved his life. The way how I hit the wall, and it could have been a whole lot worse, but luckily the safety precautions were in place, and all of the driving that I have been doing that my coach has taught me has definitely paid out.
I'm glad that you're safe and your father-in-law didn't have a worse experience because of that safety equipment. And I guess the question on everyone's minds, including my own, is, are you going to get back out there? What's the game plan?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to quit. You know, sometimes accidents will definitely impact people differently, but this doesn't stop my goal to where I want to be. Yeah, I'm definitely looking for another Camaro as we speak.
All right, you heard it. That means the series goes on and we can expect another Camaro in the shop.
3 days later.
I think it's only fitting that the last time I was out recording this car, it was a cold, rainy day, because it really was sad to see this car in this state. Now, today is sunny, it's warm, it feels like spring, it feels like there's something new in the air. And it's only fitting that Nick actually dropped off his new ZL1 Camaro this morning. So one thing I've learned about him is that he does not shy away from the crazy colors on these things. We're going from a lime green to the new one's kind of a baby blue. Looks really cool, and I can't wait to see what it looks like with some more race modifications on it. So speaking of, the first things we're gonna do are pull all of the stuff we've already done that you saw in the first episode off the green Camaro and put it onto this one, and then we'll see what we have at the end. I just took lunch after recording the first reveal of that Camaro, and it looks like DJ's already started to work on it. I can see the seats and the carpet are out. He's making a nice pile of all the OE parts. We've got the slicks going on it, which means we got to put those studs on. Basically transfer everything over from that green Camaro. So he's making quick work of it already, but there's still quite a lot to do. The green Camaro is officially gone and the blue one is all wrapped up. DJ just finished up with the rear studs, and now Gary's gonna be doing an alignment on that car and taking it out for a quick test drive, so I'll show you some footage of that. And that's probably a good way to wrap up the episode because Nick's gonna be picking that car up. He's gonna try and squeeze in a couple more track days before the snow flies, and then as soon as that happens, that car's right back to us. We're gonna be stripping it out entirely, doing a full cage, and doing a full race car build with it over the winter. So there's a lot of exciting content to come. If you guys haven't subscribed to our page, please do. Like the video, share it around, and we'll see you in the next one.
you.